Hopefully everyone is having a fantastic Friday. I am your meteorologist, Pearson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Friday evening going into your future. We have some stuff. That we're going to go on and talk about tonight, but what will that stuff be? We will get to that, but first, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. That's free. Also, you can go and hit the subscribe button as well. If you are new and you've never hit the subscribe button before, please go on and do so. That would help us out here at the channel tremendously. Also, if you have not shared, go on and share it. Share it with all the people that you know. Share it with your friends, family members. Share it with acquaintances. Share it with people you don't even like. Just share it to somebody. Free, and you can change your mind at any time. But without further ado, let's go on and talk about what we will talk about tonight. Starting off, we will obviously talk about what's going to happen tonight. That's a pretty obvious one. We will talk about what's going to occur tonight for our weather. We also will continue to talk about what's going on currently tonight, tomorrow, short-term future, long-term future. And then we also will talk about what's going to occur in terms of our weather for, our pattern and some future stuff that will be coming to the channel. We'll talk about that at the end. We have some stuff that's going on. Some changes coming that I'm excited to talk about. So we'll talk about all of that. As we get into the end. But first, let's go on and talk about what's going on throughout the entire state of South Carolina. Well, right now, throughout the entire state of South Carolina, it is nice and actually nice and dry right now. Not a whole lot going on. If we scroll our way out, though, see what's going on throughout the entire United States, obviously all of that cannot be said. We do have some snowfall going on over here from New York going all the way into Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. And for the most part, it looks like that snowfall that we have going on up there in the Northeast causing some problems. Definitely has been causing some problems. I've seen a lot of issues going on. I saw a bus get stuck in some snow. I saw some rainfall, obviously falling, on the southern side, potentially causing some issues. I saw a crash happen due to the snowfall as well. A T-bone crash happened. So they're having some major problems up here right now inside of New York, going on over inside of Connecticut and Rhode Island. So they're getting their fair share of snow. It will continue to move its way up towards the north and east, so you can see the motion of it going more this way. And so that's what they're looking at. And as we go over here into the west, they're having their own issues of their own rainfall going on in the southern part. You also have some rainfall, some snowfall going on in some of these other areas from the Pacific Northwest over inside of the more northern rocky area, and then also in California as well. Now, what about our cloud cover? Well, cloud cover right now, honestly, we do have some cloud cover going on throughout the upstate. We also do have some cloud cover going on throughout parts of the Midlands, a little bit going on. But then as you continue to go more into the coastal regions, more towards the low country and the Grand Strand areas, you're not really seeing too much in terms of cloud cover at all. Even if we go into our future cloud cover, you go on and push this forward. Let me go on and refresh this, get a new slate. Here we go right here. Go on and push this forward. You can see that this cloud cover, as it goes on and continues to push its way over into the east, you can start to see some cloud cover starting to move its way through. Even as you go into tomorrow morning, look at how clear it's going to get. Yes, we will still have some cloud cover, but it's definitely a lot clearer. You go all the way through into the 24-hour mark tomorrow evening, looks nice and clear. Go more into this right here would be Sunday morning. Right here, Sunday morning comes along, definitely getting a lot more cloudy. And then as you get into that Sunday night, cloud cover still remains. So we are still going to be watching for all of this cloud cover as we continue to move forward into the weekend and then going even to the end of the weekend as well. Now, what about your live temperatures? Well, live temperatures for right now, currently around 59 in Columbia, 61 in Orangeburg, and even around a good 60 in Somerville. We also do have around 52 in Georgetown, and even around 54 in Murrells Inlet, 53 in Myrtle Beach, and 51 in Conway. We also do have around 60 inside of Charleston, 56 in Sumter, 63 in Beaufort, and 64 over there near Aiken. We also have around 51 in Florence, 54 in Lancaster, as well as 56 in Union, 55 in Spartanburg and Gaffney, as well as York and Rock Hill, 57 in Greenville, 62 in Clemson, and 63 also inside Anderson. Low temperatures for tonight. We have around 51 in Spartanburg, as well as 52 in Rock Hill, 50 in Sharon, 49 in Dillon, 52 also in Myrtle Beach, and 52 in Georgetown, 56 in Moncks Corner, and 56 in Charleston, 56 in Walterboro, and 59 in Hilton Head Island, 57 in Barnwell, and 58 in Aiken, 57 in Greenwood. High temperatures for tomorrow, you have around 74, yes, in Spartanburg, 74 in Greenville, as well as 77 in Columbia. We also have around 77 in Sumter, 74 in Georgetown, and 72 in Charleston, 73 Hilton Head Island, and 77 in Aiken, 76 in Florence, 75 also in Dillon. And so that's just, for example, just how warm it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow. I'm just going to say that. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow. If you have any outside work you have to get done, you have anything that you have to do outside tomorrow is definitely going to be your day. Now, what about any sort of rainfall? Well, rainfall, total precipitation throughout the next 24 hours or so, not going to be an issue. Not going to be an issue at all. Not going to be an issue at all. What about the crazy score? Well, for tonight, if you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is inside of the state of South Carolina. And right now, we are at right now a 16. Why? Well, because there's not really too much going on. Number one, there still is some cloud cover going on. As well as those lows being inside the mid 50s. It's going to be warmer than most recent nights. Patchy fog risk, it's low, but it's possible. And especially inside of those sheltered inland spots. And for the most part, like I said, completely dry. So I think the reason why it's in that mild category is just because the potential for that patchy fog risk and maybe a little bit of a breezy risk, gust 15, 20 miles per hour if possible. Mainly earlier, but that threat is still there, but I think that it's mostly gone by now. I think that was more earlier during the evening. SPC outlook for tonight, thunderstorms are not going to be a concern at all. Same thing for tomorrow, not going to be a concern. And Sunday, same thing, not going to be a concern at all. So it looks like thunderstorms are not going to impact us as we go throughout the next 3 days or so. Excessive rainfall, if we go in and check this out as well, pretty much same thing, not going to impact us at all. So let's go on now and check out our models. Well, we're going to start off here inside the short-term future like we always do. And so as we go on right here to the models, right here to 9 o'clock p.m., go on and push this forward, you can see absolutely nothing. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be a very, very nice day. And we move all the way through, going all the way into Sunday. We start to see some more rainfall as we go into Sunday right here. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. You're starting to see some isolated shower activity. Not really much in terms of precipitation, but it is producing a good amount of some rainfall in terms of like drizzle activity. As you go into around like right here 9 o'clock in the morning all the way to 12 o'clock p.m., you do in fact have some drizzle activity. Now more getting into that isolated rainfall shower activity as you get more into the afternoon all the way to around 6 o'clock p.m. It starts to die down a little bit more all the way to 7 o'clock p.m. on December the 28th being Sunday. So we're looking at it, and for right now it looks like just as you get into the morning time, that's when it really just a little bit of a drizzle period, but then as you get more and more into the day, that's when it starts to kind of get a little bit more intense in terms of rainfall. Doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of that heavy rainfall, in terms of like heavy rainfall, but it does look, maybe some light to moderate. Now, what about long-term future? Well, we're going to start off right here around December the 28th. and you go in and push this forward, you do in fact have some rainfall trying to move its way through. Cold front pushes in right behind it right here. This is around December the 29th. Having some cold air move through. We'll look at the cold fronts by themselves in just a little bit. But looking at it right here, all the way through January the 2nd, throughout January the 3rd, and look right here, January the 4th. Again, too far out. So I'm not going to say too much on it. You know, we're less than a week away. But we're still not going to say much about it because we're just, like I said, too far out. Models will change. This is just the 18Z. The 18Z is usually the happy hour for the GFS, which mainly just means that it's usually when it's the most optimistic. Like if you go to the 12Z, it's not there until possibly a little bit later. But this is what the newest run says. Says some, I believe this would be some freezing rain going throughout the upstate right here around 7 a.m. on January the 4th. But then it immediately goes back just to being regular rainfall as you get more into like the afternoon time frame. That goes away, and then we just continue to have dry conditions all around. We get into around January the 9th, and we start to see some more rainfall trying to move its way through. In terms of cold air, not really. I'm not really seeing anything too crazy in terms of that cold air. If I go in and check out the entire eastern U.S. just in general, it almost looks like more of like a zonal flow setup almost, to where like you can kind of see like the warm and the cooler air kind of leveling each other out. But let's go ahead and look at the actual dew points, and we'll look at the actual air and see what's going on in terms of temperatures, and then in terms of how dry the air is, how cool the air is to see these cold fronts. You move this forward right here, you can see there goes an easy cold front to detect right here on the 29th, a couple of days from now. And then that moves its way through. This is not temperatures, this is dew points. These are dry. This is dry air. The lower the number is, the drier the air will be. The higher the number is, the more moist and the more humid the air will be. Going all the way into New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, still is there. And then we'll have another cold front trying to push through maybe potentially the day after New Year's Day on January the 2nd. That will try to move through, bring in some drier air, some more cooler air again. And then we have a little bit of a little cold resurgence down into the state until we get into around possibly more into that mid part of January, to where things start to calm down a little bit. Yes, you see I do see some potential some mini weak cold fronts maybe trying to move its way through, but nothing too crazy. I'm not seeing a strong cold front like this one right here, to where it completely tries to move its way through, right here. See, so you can see it better. I'm not seeing anything like this as we go more into January. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens here. Now, in terms of the temperature anomalies, we go in and push this forward. You can see this warmer than average temperatures right here. And it really starts to get down to cooler than average as you get into around December the 30th, December the 31st. And we have these below average temperatures. But then as we get into that New Year's Day, again, that cold front moves its way through. And we may be above average for New Year's Day. That's what it seems like, which would bring temperatures near the 50s, high 50s, low 60s potentially. So that would be above average for this time of year, absolutely. But back to the anomalies, that cold front moves through, and we in fact have some more cooler air that's going to try and push its way through. You move all the way into around January the 7th, January the 8th, and we have some more warmer air that moves its way all the way. Look at that air up there inside of Kansas and Missouri. I mean, you're having temperatures up there 20 to 30 degrees above average for that time of year. On January the 11th, what are those temperatures? Probably around the 70s or so. And so that's all that I had to really say in terms of the long-term future. I mean, just for the most part, it looks like we're going to end out the year being a bit cooler. Or not a bit cooler, I should say, honestly, a little bit warmer. Excuse me, not a bit cooler. We're going to end off starting off warm, and then as we get into around the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, we'll cool down. Then as we get into the New Year's Day, it will warm up, and then the next day we'll have another cold front. And as we get more and more into January, we start to warm up a little bit more. So that's all I have to say here in terms of our In terms of our long term, let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Mr. Chris was here first. He says, "Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day." I did. Thank you so much for asking. He also says, "Currently it's 56 degrees here in Moncks Corner, and it is clear." Well, that's great to hear that it is clear and nice over there. Charles says, "Greetings, everyone. Greetings to you." Mr. Chris says, "This is strange being the only one here." At the beginning, I mean, suppose what you mean. Well, it seems like we have some more people up in here. Let me go in and turn that on real quick. Let me see. Maya Lua comes back and says, "Good evening, everyone. I pray that everyone had a wonderful Christmas." Well, thank you so much for that. I did. Mr. Chris comes back and says, or my Aunt Lewis says, "I'm still having problems logging in. However, I've got to keep at it." And Mr. Chris says, "Same here. I'm having the issue being able to type in." Well, like I said, that's nothing on my side. My side, everything is fine for me right now. So I think it is a YouTube issue. YouTube's been acting up on my phone. I mean, I got a new phone, and YouTube's been acting up on it just for a good little bit. I mean, sometimes to where it just closes out by itself sometime. I'm like, well, I don't know what in the world's going on with that. But just YouTube's always just been kind of weird for me on my phones that I get. Let's see, what else do we have? Mr. Anthony said, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you." Then as we continue our way down, my Aunt Lewis says, "Today in Georgetown it was sunny with a little nip in the air. It was bearable, though. It was bearable. I do agree with that." My Nan says, "Hey, Jay, beautiful day. Great to hear. Hello to you." And then Mr. Chris says, "Exactly. Very nice day. Very nice day tomorrow. Looks like I'll be able to finish working on my truck." Absolutely. Be a fantastic day for that. He also says, "Just praying that this winter weather stays away." You know, I do agree. I do agree. I think that if it is going to be cold, bring some snow. You know, bring some snow with it. But if you're just gonna be cold for no reason, or bring like a little cold rain, nobody wants that. Nobody wants just a little cold rain coming through. If you're gonna bring some cold air, bring some snow with it. Bring something like that with it, and then I'll accept it. But other than that, nah. I'd just rather take my warm air. Maya Lewis says Georgetown will have a 74 tomorrow. I love it, absolutely. And then Thunderstorms 98 says sunny in Charleston. Well, thank you so much for that weather report for where you are in Charleston. And that's all that I can see here in terms of the audience. So let's go on now and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. We'll come back to the audience in just a second. But if you're new and you have no idea why I'm talking about 4 locations outside of South Carolina, I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. Yes, almost nightly. And so we're going to go on and talk about them because we have people from those areas who tune in and they support the channel. They support, obviously, what I do here. And so, since they tune in almost nightly, and their location is not even the main one being talked about, we go on and talk about their areas for them. So we start off with San Antonio first with low temperatures tonight at 66, high temperatures tomorrow at 81, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 66 as well. Precipitation, not expected at this time. Excessive rainfall, severe weather. For the most part, looks like that you have none of those risks. Everybody has no excessive rainfall risk, I will say that right now. But just for San Antonio in terms of severe weather, no severe weather for you. For Raleigh, you have low temperatures tonight at 46, high temperatures tomorrow at 69, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 37. Precipitation, not expected at this time. In terms of severe weather or excessive rainfall, nothing for you either. And then for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 29, high temperatures tomorrow at 34, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 24. Precipitation is expected tonight. There will be a little bit of a wintry mix tonight. That would be obviously with freezing rain, sleet, snowfall, all of that will be mixed with each other tonight. But tomorrow after that, no precipitation. And then finally for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 53, high temperatures tomorrow at 83, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. Precipitation, severe weather, excessive rainfall, all of that stuff is not expected at this time. So we're all good there. And so I think that is about all for these 4 areas. And so this screen looks a little bit janky right now, but I'll get it fixed. Because obviously, like everyone knows, new computer, new stuff happening. Actually, and we do have some announcements, by the way, because we have some new stuff that will be coming to the channel, some new stuff that will be coming through. But before I get into that, what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise, the atmospheric river will wind down through today across California with lingering heavy rainfall, heavy mountain snow, as well as gusty winds. A wintry mix of freezing rain, sleet, and snow will cause hazardous travel for conditions for the Great Lakes into the northern mid-Atlantic and the southern New England area today through Saturday morning. Areas of tree damage and power outages are possible, and I just saw a report that a tree, in fact, did fall on a vehicle earlier up there in the Northeast. So they're not lying when they say areas of tree damage and power outages are possible. I've also seen reports of power outages and power lines being down as well throughout the Northeast from this winter storm. So they're definitely not lying. They're definitely not lying at all. But like I said, that's all that I have for tonight. We have some announcements to make. Some stuff will be coming to the channel. Some changes will be coming to the channel. You can see already at the top right. Those are the conditions right now at my house. That's going to be displayed anytime that I'm live. That will be up there. And so you'll be able to see what the conditions are at my house for as long as you want to see it for. So you can currently see 55, 94% humidity, pressure is relatively high, means nice weather, steady, and then winds to the north at 1 mile per hour. So, and it's clear as well, So that's something to look at if you want to go in and see that. Also, same thing, down there at the bottom right, you have your high temperatures, your low temperatures, your wind, stuff like that. You have the radar right here. Obviously, in the big area, we'll have our 7-day forecasting on the bottom as we get it there. And then also, one thing that I am working on right now is having a full-on 24/7 live stream that stays up forever, so I could shut down the stream on this computer and actually have it run on another one. So that will be coming by soon, to where I will be live 24/7 for the most part, unless something happens or like power goes out or something like that. But that's definitely something that I'm working on. That could be, set up as early as sometime next week. That's another thing. We have a whole like weather. Well, let me not say too much. I'm gonna keep that as a surprise. I'm not gonna say much. I'm gonna just let it play out, and I'm just gonna show y'all as a surprise and as a thing. But just like a lot of stuff, a lot of changes are coming. Especially as we into the new year as well. So, a lot of goals, a lot of stuff. And speaking of goals, if you have not hit the subscribe button yet, go on and do so. Like I just said, we have big changes coming. Big changes are coming. So if you want to be informed on that, go on and hit the subscribe button. Also like it to help other people see it, and share it as well. Share it with your friends, family members, acquaintances, and even people you may not even like that much. Just share it to somebody so that they can go on and get this weather like you are getting. Mr. Chris says, everyone please have a great night. Stay safe, warm, and hydrated. Absolutely. And then the top fans of the night tonight. Who are the top fans of the night tonight, Mr. Chris? Hold on, let me see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So Mr. Chris at number 1. My Aunt Lou is at number 2. And then Thunderstorm 98 is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night tonight. I still do not have my applauses, but that will be here tomorrow. But that is all that I have in terms of the forecast for tonight. So, like I said, make sure you have a fantastic rest of your Friday. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, Saturday morning forecast update. And tomorrow evening for your Saturday evening forecast update, 9 o'clock p.m. same time. Make sure you hit those 2 buttons if you are new.
Thank